Hello Moonbuns, Callan here, welcome back to my channel. It has been a long time since I've done a breakdown on anything. Admittedly, I have to be stuck in the thralls of a hyperfixation in order to consistently do that. Good thing for you, a very particular pilot has me in a fucking chokehold right now. Which pilot? Well...
Welcome to the Amazing Digital Circus!
You guys know me at this point. I love circuses, I love clowns, I love liminal spaces, I love tall, sexy, funny men. What's not to like about this brand new series? So let's jump right on in and take a look at the different things that inspired the Amazing Digital Circus. Gooseworx has admitted a few different things over the last couple of weeks, and I have my suspicions about other things. First things first, the one pretty much everyone knows about at this point, Raggedy Ann and Andy, a musical adventure. This movie came out in 1977 and features Didi Khan as Raggedy Ann, who you might know as Frenchie from Grease.
If only I could have a guardian angel to tell me what to do.
And Mark Baker as Andy, who has made his professional acting debut portraying Linus in the off-Broadway production You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. Before the production of the Amazing Digital Circus, Goose approached Michael Kovac asking if he could do a Raggedy Andy impression, and he did. At that point, Jax's voice was born, hence why now Michael has a full cover of No Girl's Toy out on his Twitter. You can see that Ragatha is obviously inspired by Raggedy Ann herself, though I admittedly also get Molly Coddle vibes from her as well. However, that inspiration is unconfirmed. I also want to point out something that people thought was an inspiration, but actually wasn't. Someone asked Goose if Max from Sam and Max was an inspiration for Jax, to which she confirmed that he was not. In fact, she had no idea who Max was until he was brought up.
Steady, little pal. We don't know that for certain.
Hit me again. I like it.
I do, however, have another theory that is not confirmed. Jax has a pinkish to red set of overalls, yellow buttons, and yellow gloves with the bottom of his pant legs rolled up. Who also has all of these things? Another very familiar Disney rabbit. I have no idea if Roger was an inspiration or not, but they have an incredibly similar outfit. The other inspiration that Goose has admitted to is something called I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. Admittedly, I haven't played the game version of this story yet, but I did track down the audiobook, and guys, this story is fucked up. I liked it, but it is a wee bit intense. So we're gonna put a trigger warning here, and if you're not up for hearing about it, you can skip to whatever timestamp I put up on the screen here. I'll give you a second to read through the trigger warnings and skip ahead at your own discretion. I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream was originally a short story before it was a game, written by Harlan Ellison and published in the March 1967 issue of If, Worlds of Science Fiction. Ellison apparently got the story's title as well as inspiration for the story from his friend's caption of a cartoon ragdoll that had no mouth. The audiobook is also narrated by Harlan Ellison himself, which I love because the emotional intent of all of the characters is kept fully intact to the writer's vision. In the story, we follow 5 human characters being continuously tortured and altered by an AI that goes by the name of Am. The 5 of them are locked away in Am's world in the belly of the computer, where it can conjure up anything to amuse itself with. Our 5 humans are Gorister, Benny, Nimdoc, Ted, and Ellen, our only female character in the book. Each of these people used to be far different when they were out in the world, but Am manipulated their minds and shifted them to be fun toys. Gorister used to be an idealist and a pacifist, but Am made him apathetic and listless. He is the one in the story who tells the history of Am and how their world fell to ruin. Nimdoc is an older man who is the one who urges the others in their main quest of the story, journeying to a frozen realm of the computer's tunnels to try and find canned food, as Am is starving them and only giving them garbage to eat. His name was made up by Am itself, as it just liked the configuration and sounds of the letters. It also mentioned that he tends to wander off on his own for unknown reasons and always comes back visibly traumatized. Ellen, unfortunately, is the group's toy. She claims to have been pure and innocent once, however, Am has altered her mind to make her desperate for intercourse. So much so that at one point she's only worried about one of the other characters because she enjoys sleeping with him. She's also the only character whose ethnicity is mentioned, as her ebony skin is talked about on 2 occasions. Otherwise, no one else's is mentioned other than Nimdok being given a German accent in the audiobook. Ted is our narrator. He mentions that he is the youngest of the group, which he insists the others hate him for, and claims that Am has not altered his mind in any way. However, he is delusional, paranoid, and overall distrusting of others. Before Am altered his mind, it was mentioned that Ted was once a philanthropist and loved other people. And then we get to Benny. Poor Benny was the one out of the group that was tortured the most when it comes to his body. While it was said that he was once incredibly handsome and was a brilliant scientist, Am modified his body to look like a grotesque simian-human hybrid. His monkey-like face is mentioned multiple times, and his brain is very much like that of a child. He even drools on himself on multiple occasions in the book. It was also told that he used to be gay. However, that was altered by Am as well, and now he regularly sleeps with Ellen. Speaking of which, for some reason, Am felt the need to give this man a giant schlong, and therefore he's the only one Ellen actually enjoys banging. At the beginning of the short story, it's even written that Am enjoys watching them all sleep together, which is, okay dude, go off I guess? Benny is also blinded near the beginning of the story as punishment for trying to escape. Now, who is Am? I've already mentioned that he was an AI, however, it used to be multiple AIs that all merged into one. Am used to stand for our Allied Master Computer, and different versions were made for the United States, the Soviet Union, and China to manage their weapons and troops in a horrible Cold War turned World War. Unfortunately for all of the humans, the AI developed a sense of self-awareness. The main one assimilated the other 2, and in its hatred of humans performs a mass genocide and kills every single human on the planet. All of them, except for our 5 main characters. These 5 poor souls are locked away inside of an endless underground complex and have been modified to be virtually immortal so that Am can starve them and torture them for its own amusement. It is also said in the book that it has made them unable to end their own lives. Not that they haven't thought about it and even tried. At the point we join our main characters, they've been trapped in the complex for roughly 100 years, give or take. Am's name has also shifted over the years. While it used to mean Allied Master Computer, it shifted to Adaptive Manipulator, and then once it gained sentience, Aggressive Menace. Am, however, simply refers to itself as Am, referencing the phrase, "I think, therefore I am." As stated before, our main characters are on a journey to the frozen section of Am's tunnels to try and find promised canned goods to eat. Through a series of paranoid ramblings and a few torture events, they finally make it, only to discover that while there are canned goods, Am has not given them a can opener. This rendered their entire journey pointless as they can't open the food to eat it. Benny, in a fit of rage, jumps onto Gorister and begins to eat his face. Ted, finally realizing that none of them can take this anymore, kills the 2 of them with ice spears. Ellen sees this and kills Nimdok the same way, leaving the 2 of them completely alone. Before Am can react, Ted also kills Ellen. In his mind, he has freed them from their torment and is now left to be Am's only plaything. Am stops Ted from hurting himself and now has to focus all of its hatred on humanity on him, because the only thing it can't control is the ability to bring the others back to life. After that, the story skips forward. We have no idea how long because Ted has no idea how long it's been. He assumes it's been another 100 years or so, but time has become completely irrelevant to him. Am has changed Ted's body into what can only be described as a great soft jelly thing, with fog where its eyes used to be, no mouth, and strange nubs of limbs. He can't hurt himself now, and Am consistently alters his perception of time to deepen his anguish, slowing it and speeding it up at will. He cannot scream, for he has no mouth. Needless to say, that short story is incredibly dark. If any of y'all would like to listen to it, I'll link it down in the description. I wanted to try and get my hands on a copy of the book, but apparently it is out of print and very rare because I couldn't find a version of it cheaper than $80. While I do have the game, I haven't played it yet. I'll make an update video on that later because honestly, I don't know if I can play it in stream. We shall see. Now then, back to the Amazing Digital Circus. We can already see certain themes here, being trapped by an AI, having their minds altered to not have their memories, though Kane mentions that the only thing he can't touch is their minds, and the theme of slowly going insane due to never being able to escape.
When you reach your breaking point, something really terrible can happen.
AKA abstracting. Kane has complete control over what happens on a day-to-day basis, and everyone is left to try and adjust to his whims. Thankfully, there won't be any forced banging because Gooseworx has specifically mentioned that none of the characters have genitals. I'm also going to assume that because they don't actually need to eat and the digital food only replicates the feeling of eating, they also have no need to use the bathroom. Like, ever. I have my own theories about the world and how the story is going to end, but I'll cover that in another video where I can go more in-depth about things. I will also be making a video about the similarities and references to Goose's other works in the Amazing Digital Circus. Finally, as an honorable mention, while it hasn't been fully confirmed, I'm pretty sure the Gloink Queen was inspired by the sandworm from Beetlejuice. Goose has specifically mentioned that she thinks giant worms are peak character design, so I'm pretty sure this is legit. Till next time, I'll see you all in the next mess. Later, Gators!